Bitcoin is worthless garbage. Bitcoin is absolute rat poison, in the words of Warren Buffett. If you have any Bitcoin, you have to sell it right now. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why Bitcoin is one of the worst investments you can make. And I'm going to talk about why Bitcoin is more than a bad investment. If you buy Bitcoin, it's actually going to destroy your whole financial mentality and set you up for a lifetime of being poor and making bad investments. I'll explain why in today's video. Okay, so some of you might have gotten a little mad watching that intro. Some of you might be agreeing with me, but a lot of you are probably thinking like, oh, who are you to be an expert on Bitcoin? I'm someone who has listened to a lot of different experts, and I think that that's what you should do as well. And in my opinion, the biggest expert on investing of them all is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is widely known as the greatest investor of all time. He's done much better than the average investor for many, many years, and far, far better. He would be the world's wealthiest person if he didn't give away all his money. And when it comes to an authority on investing, doesn't get more authoritative than Warren Buffett. So what does he think about Bitcoin? Here's what he has to say. In terms of cryptocurrencies, I can say with almost certainty they will come to a bad ending. If I could buy a 5-year put option on every one of the cryptocurrencies, I would do it. If he could bet that Bitcoin is going down, he would make that bet. And for those of you guys that know Warren Buffett, he hardly ever makes those types of option bets. For Warren Buffett to say that is a very, very strong negative statement about Bitcoin, something that he would probably never say about any other stock or any bond. So this is pretty harsh criticism of Bitcoin by the world's leading investor. I know, though, that there are many authorities on both sides. Many financial and investing authorities are in favor of Bitcoin, too. And you might still be thinking like, oh, what about those guys? And what about my friend Bobby and Sue, who made a lot of money on Bitcoin? What I'm going to do in today's video is show you 7 reasons why you should not own any Bitcoin, why I don't own any Bitcoin myself. I'm also going to show you why Bitcoin trains you to have a poor person's mentality and why it's going to set you up for a lifetime of making bad investments, even if it does go up from here. So let's talk about the first reason why Bitcoin is worthless garbage. Reason number 1 is that businesses make profits and grow. Bitcoin does not. And this is the biggest reason why Warren Buffett is against Bitcoin. Now, when you're buying Bitcoin, the comparison a lot of people make is versus putting it in a savings account or just putting the money under your mattress. A lot of people think, oh, if I buy this Bitcoin, it might go up, whereas if I put the money under my mattress, it won't go up. But that's not really the comparison you should be making. It's very easy for you to invest in stocks and bonds, and that's really the alternative to Bitcoin that you should be comparing it to, especially stocks. Stocks are partial ownership in a business, and a business grows and makes profit every year. You could buy stocks just as easily as you buy Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, oh, well, I don't know if Bitcoin's going to go up or down. I don't know if stocks are going to go up and down. So what's really the difference? And that's true. You don't really know the price of Bitcoin in the future. You don't really know the price of the stock market in the future. Nobody can predict with certainty the price of anything in the future. But the reason why stocks are better than Bitcoin is just the nature of what they are. When you own a business, the business is making profits every year. It's growing and reinvesting those profits, and it's paying you dividends. For example, one investment that I have right now instead of Bitcoin is what's called a master limited partnership, and this pays me about 10% dividends per year. Now, I don't know whether this is going to go up and down. Maybe the stock market will go down and I won't be able to sell my stock for a high price. In that case, that's totally fine. I'll just collect my 10% dividends every year forever, and I'm fine with that. But let's say if your Bitcoin goes down, there's no dividend and there is no option to hold your Bitcoin forever unless you just want to permanently part with that money. So because of that, businesses or stocks are a better investment than Bitcoin, and you should not be taking money out of the stock market to invest in something like Bitcoin. Whether the stock market goes up or down, you make money. If Bitcoin goes down, you're out of luck. The second reason why Bitcoin is worthless garbage is that you can't use Bitcoin to buy anything, and you will never be able to. And there's a few reasons for this. Number 1, accepting Bitcoin is very complicated and expensive for merchants or businesses to set up. Number 2, the transaction costs are still too high. They used to be ridiculously high and they've gone down a lot, but it's still much, much higher than doing transactions in US dollars. Number 3, the most important reason is that Bitcoin is too volatile. Let's say if a dollar was worth $1 one day, then $2 tomorrow, then 25 cents the next day, nobody could ever buy anything because it's not consistent. In order to be used as currency, cryptocurrency is going to have a consistent value. So the fact that Bitcoin goes up and down rapidly might be good for speculators who want to make a quick profit and make a quick speculative bet, but it's not really good for normal people. Because of that, there's a very limited universe of speculators who are going to buy this, and it's never really going to make its way outside that to people actually using it for transactions. So that means one day the universe of speculators will run out and the price has got to go down. All right, so the third reason why Bitcoin is worthless garbage is that there is an infinite supply of cryptocurrency, and there is no scarcity whatsoever when it comes to Bitcoin. Now, I know all the Bitcoin fanboys are typing in the comments right now, like, no, there is scarcity, there's a hard limit of this or that many million. And that's true. For every individual cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin or whatever other thing, there's a limit and there's artificial scarcity imposed where there can be only so many Bitcoins or only so many Dogecoins or whatever coin it is created. And a lot of cryptocurrency's defenders point to that and say cryptocurrency must be worth more in the future because there's scarcity. But what they're not thinking about is that cryptocurrencies can easily substitute for each other. There's scarcity of Bitcoin, but I could use Ethereum just the same way. I could use Dogecoin just the same way. I could use Ripple to accomplish exactly the same thing. If the price of Bitcoin goes up too much, I can just substitute some other cryptocurrency. Because of this, there is an infinite supply of cryptocurrencies. There are no restrictions on what new cryptocurrencies can be created and no restrictions on how much of those cryptocurrencies can be created. The fourth reason why Bitcoin is worthless garbage is that Bitcoin is very frequently stolen. If you put your money in the bank, it's very, very unlikely that someone is going to do a heist, maybe like hack into the JP Morgan Chase website and steal your bank account. It just can't happen. Even if somebody goes to your bank and physically steals the bills, it's FDIC insured, so essentially you're 100% guaranteed to never lose your US dollar savings. But with Bitcoin, there's a real significant chance that whatever Bitcoin you save up, it'll be stolen one day. And let me walk you through a few of the biggest Bitcoin heists just to show you how big of a problem this is. So Coincheck, which is a Bitcoin exchange, a Bitcoin wallet service, had $530 million stolen in a single heist. Mt. Gox had $470 million stolen. BitGrail had $170 million stolen. Nobody has ever hacked into Bank of America or Wells Fargo's website and stolen $500,000. It just can't happen. Even if somebody somehow did do that, it's all FDIC insured. You don't lose the money in your bank account if some robber just steals your money. With Bitcoin, it's gone. The people that put their Bitcoin into Coincheck and Mt. Gox are now out of luck. It is never coming back, and they lost all their money to a robber. You can't take that risk if you're serious about getting ahead. You can't take the risk of someone just taking your hard-earned savings, and that's why you should not invest in Bitcoin. The fifth reason why Bitcoin is worthless garbage is that there's actually a 20% chance that any given Bitcoin you buy will one day be lost. And I don't mean stolen, I literally mean lost. 1 in 5 Bitcoins out there right now is now what's called stranded. And stranded means that somebody forgot the password to their wallet. They put it on a physical hard drive, which has now been lost, either by physically losing the hard drive or the thumb drive, or by not having access to the password, they can no longer access their Bitcoin. And just look this up in the news. There are people that have actually lost $20 million or $30 million worth of Bitcoin. Massive amounts of Bitcoin. And of course, with people that just have $500 or $1,000, it's extremely, extremely common to lose your password and just have your Bitcoin be stranded. So just keep this in mind with whatever Bitcoin you buy. There's a 1 in 5 chance whatever Bitcoin you buy today, you're going to lose it. So that risk does not exist with dollars, that risk does not exist with stocks, and that's why these are better alternative investments in my opinion. Now, I know what you're thinking. I won't lose my password, I'll just make my password. But you can't do that as well because of what we just talked about before. Because it's so common for people to steal Bitcoin, you gotta make a very secure password. The type of password that's auto-generated by your computer, that's parentheses, A, B, X, Y, and a random string of letters and numbers that nobody could ever remember. Well, that type of secure password is very difficult to remember, and there's a big chance you can lose it. But because of the risk of theft, you can't use an easy password either. So that's another reason why you should never invest in Bitcoin. The sixth reason why you should never invest in Bitcoin is that Bitcoin causes massive pollution. And by buying Bitcoin, you are destroying the planet and being an asshole. Right now, to create Bitcoin, it takes a process called mining. Essentially, Bitcoin mining is running a bunch of high-powered computers to calculate certain math problems which award Bitcoin and which facilitate Bitcoin transactions. This takes a huge amount of electricity. Right now, there is more electricity wasted on Bitcoin mining than is used by the entire country of Argentina. I mean, think about that. More than the entire country of Argentina. Now, put yourself in the position of the government. Everybody knows about climate change. Everybody knows how concerned people are about that. But on the other hand, if you increase taxes on heating and electricity, that hurts people as well. But then you have this whole Bitcoin thing. You could eliminate the whole electricity consumption of Argentina on something that's completely wasteful, completely unnecessary, and which isn't going to impact ordinary people even one bit. Wouldn't it be real tempting from the government's point of view to outlaw Bitcoin mining because it's so wasteful and causes so much climate change? I think it might be. Furthermore, if you're the type of person that conserves energy, that recycles, that drives a Prius, but you're also holding Bitcoin, just realize it's not really consistent with those values. Bitcoin does cause a huge amount of pollution and a huge amount of climate change. There's no disputing that. And one day it may be regulated because of those reasons. So that's yet another reason why you should not own any Bitcoin. The final and most important reason why you should not own any Bitcoin is that Bitcoin builds bad investing habits. And here's what I mean by that. Let's say you buy Bitcoin today, you buy at the current price, which I believe is around $40,000 today, and let's say the Bitcoin crash I'm predicting comes tomorrow. You put $1,000 in, it goes to zero. Most likely what's going to happen is you'll be like, oh, this investing thing's a scam. I'm not doing any of this investing anymore. I'm at least going to spend the money I have and enjoy it. And you'll never find out about the better investments that could have made you money. Or even worse, let's say that the crash that I'm predicting doesn't happen right away and it goes up to, say, $100,000 and you double your money. In my opinion, this would actually be even worse for you. A lot of people that I've seen, they put a little bit of money into Bitcoin, they get lucky, and let's say they double their money, and they think they're a financial genius. They're like, oh, I found the formula to limitless money. I need to put even more money into Bitcoin. And if it goes up again, they're going to put even more and more and more money into Bitcoin, and they'll be putting less and less money into businesses and more money into speculative cryptocurrencies. In my opinion, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. Even if you do get lucky and you double or triple your initial investment, that's just going to set you up for bigger losses in the future because it's going to encourage you to speculate even more. So whether Bitcoin goes up or whether it goes down, you're going to lose money from it either way in the long term. And even more important than losing $100 or $1,000 right now, you're going to be building bad investing habits. You're not going to be building the habit of doing the thing that will make you wealthy in the long term. So regardless of what happens this year or next year, it's going to be a big negative for your financial picture overall. Alright, so those are the 7 reasons why I own $0 worth of Bitcoin. If you own Bitcoin, I encourage you to sell it right now. If you don't own any, good for you, don't buy any. Now, if you're interested in making money from home, buying Bitcoin and speculating on it is probably not the best way to do it. But a much better way to make money from home is my new product I just released, YouTube Ad Management Black Belt. If you want to make a home-based income, you could start a business, advertise it on YouTube, and be making more money than you're making right now at your job. Or you could run YouTube ads for clients like I do, real simply, real easily start making money from home, much more than you're making right now. My course, YouTube Ad Management Black Belt, is the best course available teaching you advanced YouTube ad management. What I mean by that is I teach you how to target your campaigns. I teach you how to split test your ads. I teach you advanced things like combination targeting. I show you exactly how to use advanced targeting functions like remarketing. Start to finish, A to Z, I show you exactly how to manage YouTube ad campaigns in this video, a very valuable skill people will pay you a ton of money for. If you want to learn more about YouTube Ad Management Black Belt, check out the link in the description and you can learn more about it and get an exclusive discount just for my subscribers. So check out that video if you're interested. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave me a comment down below. If there's any other topics you'd like me to talk about, leave me a comment. If enough people want me to talk about a topic, I'll put it in a future video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.